Video game adaptations of movies have just been very mixed with throughout the years. Like with every Sonic the Hedgehog 3 that comes out, you at least get one Borderlands movie and one original Super Mario Bros. Movie. Whoa! Okay, who put that clip in there? But one movie stands above the rest with not being talked about nearly as much as the others. That movie being Detective Pikachu. Now, if you don't know what Pokemon is, allow me to have a clip from JonTron that perfectly summarizes the entire topic.
Pokemon, a series dearly beloved by many. Few games can claim to harness its gravitational pull. This golden goose has sold millions upon millions of copies, spawned countless varieties of merchandise, and touched multiple generations of kids and adults alike. How many franchises do you know that bridge the generational gap?
Now I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Why are you telling me this? I've played them all. I've been to them all. I've been to Kanto, Johto, Ancho, Habanero, Poblano, Antonio Banderas. I swung them all, sister. Swung with the bat.
Basically, the story of each Pokemon game is pretty, self-explanatory and kind of common with each other. You're pretty much working up your team of Pokemon to go against gym leaders and pretty much gain badges along the way. My favorite Pokemons, personally, are the Snorlax, aka Big Boy.
Now a little bit more. Big boy. Big boy. Hey, you goes out. Say hi to him. Hi, big boy.
Blaziken the Pokemon.
How much head do you get an hour?
And of course, my personal favorite, Larry the Registered Defender. Oh, wait, you thought I forgot about that one? Oh, I didn't. I never forgot. And like how every good product should, this also came with a movie years later. Produced by Legendary Pictures and of course the big ol' company themselves, we got this movie in theaters. And was it any good? Yeah, it was pretty good. Now, without further ado, get your Vaporeon plushies and your Pikachu flavored sparkling water, I think that was a thing, and let's get started, shall we? Our movie of the hour opens up within a research facility where a Mewtwo's being held as he recreates the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 scene with Shadow. This all goes wrong as he breaks out of containment and a funny explosion goes off in the background, letting us know that something bad's happening. He then chases after a car in which our main protagonist, Detective Harry, and also too his Pikachu, are riding off possibly to the sunset until Mewtwo breaks their ankles and explodes the car. The detective dies, which will be relevant later because, no, he doesn't really die. As the movie cuts to our main neighborhood, we get some scenic shots as we cut to our main protagonist Tim and his friend Jack, who never gets mentioned anywhere else in the movie, as they're trying to catch a Cubone. The main guy, Tim, doesn't really like Pokemon, doesn't want one, because he's a loser. He then goes into the long grass as the Cubone hunts him down like the Velociraptors from the Lost World. Then Tim gets a call from the Rhyme City Police Department as he's called down to Rhyme City. He then catches a train and then heads over.
Daddy, yes!
Seriously, new cartoon crush unlocked!
We also get introduced to the big bad of the story, Howard Clifford, the big red dog.
It's Clifford the big red stab wound.
We then get introduced to... Wait a minute, is that the guy from Godzilla King of the Monsters? So anyway, Dr. Shirazawa over here tells our boy that his dad's dead! Tim then goes to the apartment as he checks his little locker with Harry Goodman? Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Freaking Saul Goodman reference.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman.
2025.
You know
oh my god. We then get introduced to our April O'Neil of this universe, aka Lucy Stevens. Nothing really happens between them as Tim goes up to the apartment and pretty much snoops around his dad's old stuff. Tim then finds his pop's stash of lean as he sprays it all over these ape guns? I don't know, I'm gonna call them demon monkeys. After all of that, we then learn that his mom's also dead too, which, yay, more trauma, how fun. He snoops around a little more as he finds a small Pikachu and, oh my god, guys, it's Ryan Reynolds. Guys, it's Ryan Reynolds!
Oh, hello.
So, Pikachu?
Little guy, how did you get... I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Pulverine.
They both come to the not-so-sudden realization that they can both understand each other perfectly. This is then interrupted by the funny little demon monkeys chasing after them as if they want to rip off their balls and then nail them to their doorknobs. After the chase, Tim runs out on the streets like a crackhead trying to get people to understand Pikachu, even though Pika can only respond with just that.
Excuse me, hi, sorry. You can hear him, right? You can hear him talk.
I'm touching myself tonight.
We then find out shortly after that Pikachu is Harry's work partner, and that he just has dementia, and now he just can't remember anything. And also, he's a caffeine addict. And a crack addict. Pikachu then figures out that there's no body left behind, so Harry could possibly be still alive. He then teams up with Tim as they both have some casual banter with each other about what they're going to be doing next. They go back to the apartment as Tim gets some rest. The next morning, he sees Pikachu having all of weird papers and evidence on the floor, pretty much stating that he needs to retrace his steps. We then find out that the lean Vask actually has an R symbol on it. So basically, Blood needs to find Lucy at her local news network, which is a plain ripoff of CNN, and I like it because of that fact. We then find out that there is a parade going to be happening in a few days because Howard, I don't know, he just likes parades. We also get introduced to Howard's son, who is an absolute dick in this first scene. We then see Lucy as Tim and Lucy pretty much go to her office to search for some more clues or just more leads in order to direct them towards their main task. And she actually has a collection of leads. Look at that. I didn't know she was fanatic like that. I didn't know she was like that big round guy. They then go to the steel mill as they find Mr. Mime, who was ugly as f*** in this movie. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
They pretty much interrogate Mr. Mime by pretty much getting into his head, which I actually find is a very creative thing that this movie does. Also, too, I would just like to mention, they are pretty much having the mentality of, in order to defeat the clown, you must yourself become a clown.
Hola, soy un payacho. Hola, soy un putazo.
Also, there's this really funny scene where he douses him in gasoline, and all I can think of is Diddy Party. Pretty much you get the next location revealed to us that the Roundhouse is pretty much the holding place for the Argas, which is pretty much an underground Pokemon fighting league, which honestly is kind of fun. I like this scene. Apparently the shirtless dude over here is pretty salty about Pikachu hurting his beloved Charizard, so now there's a rematch battle going on. But little does Ryan Reynolds know that Charizard gets hit with that lean, and then I guess Ryan Reynolds forgot how to use his powers because plot thing, I don't know. The whole entire place gets hit with the gas after the shirtless dude gets, I don't know, like stabbed or something. I forgot what happens to him. We then learn that the lean comes from this doctor person as he gets sent back to the Rhyme police station as he gets shown of the crash. Bro experiences survivor guilt because, oh, does someone miss their dad? He then gets sent over to Howard's tower as Howard states his son made the Argas in the first place, pretty much sabotage everything that he's built in the city. He then shows a hologram of his dad who is still alive. It also shows that Mewtwo was the reason why the crash even happened, and how Pika's memory got wiped in the first place. Lucy and Tim then go to the same coffee shop that they were at before as they talk about the research facility, and then they both drive over there to find out what happened. As they enter the facility, they find experimented Pokemon, and the Sonic 3 scene recreation with the tube yet again. Oh my god, I cannot escape this movie however I try. Please make it stop! We also find out that they're sucking the lean juice out of Mewtwo. Pretty much just that one scene from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
He's milking me.
Apparently, Detective Hare was searching for Mewtwo since pretty much Mewtwo just escaped. That's fun. Also, we get a horror movie montage with these Greninjas, which actually is kind of cool, not gonna lie. Tim, Lucy, Psyduck, and Ryan Reynolds all get out of the facility as the Greninjas chase after them. Psyduck then blows as the land begins terraforming, or pretty much just starts causing an earthquake. Now, I'm not really educated well Pokemon, but I'm pretty sure those are just giant-ass tortoises. Ryan Reynolds then gets a fake-out death as the Bulbasaurs try to help Tim out. They take him to Mewtwo as pretty much he states that he is indeed not the bad guy. Mewtwo then gets captured by the big bad, and Pikachu blames himself and splits up with Tim, letting Tim and Lucy go to the city. This then leads to Tim going to Howard to pretty much just confront him about this whole thing and pretty much just state what he's got so far in the case. Pikachu then sings the Pokemon theme song, and oh my god, guys, I made a remix of the Pokemon theme. You ready for it? Get ready. This is my totally original cover of it. I wanna be the best Gooner, like no one has ever edged. To go to King LeBron James, that is my quest. I will travel across Ohio, Livy, Dun, Grunk. To goon them is my own quest. Stick my schlog inside. Digimon, gotta oil it's up. Good in time. I know my hot story. Digimon, oh, you edge so well. In a world that we must go. Digimon, gotta oil up. Your God's so true. P. Diddy will good us too. You and me, and I'll and you. Digimon, gotta oil up. Gotta oil up. Digimon. Yay, I did it. Never ask me to do something like that ever again, please. Ryan Reynolds then finds out that this place looks a bit familiar, and actually finds out that it's the crash site and where Detective died, I think. Not really. Yeah, legitimately not. And then finds Greninja stars right next to the crime scene. Ryan Reynolds then comes to the conclusion that Mewtwo was actually trying to protect them the entire time, and then rushes over to Rhyme City. This then leads to Tim finding out that Howard is a big bad. Who would have guessed that? Me. I did. Before the movie even started, when we first got introduced to Howard, I knew that he was the bad guy. And ruh-roh, big bad's gonna do bad things, and apparently the Argas is inside the balloons, and then once Argas hits the Pokemon, people can transfer their minds into the Pokemon. It's kind of like I don't know, symbiote, I think. I don't know. We then get a really cool fight scene between Mewtwo, or Howard, versus Ryan Reynolds. I almost called him Pikachu, but I'm continuing with the bit. We then find out that Tim's son wasn't behind this thing. Who would have thunk it? As Tim now needs to fight Ditto, which, can I have one of those, please?
Seriously, new cartoon
thanks.
crush.
Ditto dies from the nitrous as Tim disconnects the Howard's Bluetooth connection with Mewtwo, pretty much returning Mewtwo back to normal and regaining his conscience again. Which he actually undoes this entire mess. Just like that. Poof. You know, it's all gone. People of Rhyme City then return back to normal as the day is saved, I guess. As Mewtwo tells Tim that his pops has been with him all along, giving him a flashback to Pikachu offering his body for Tim's dad's soul to pretty much be inside him. That sounds really, really bad. This then cuts to the final scene with, oh my god, Ryan Reynolds, oh my god, Mint Mama! Tim then chooses to stay with his pops as they go grab a coffee, and the movie comes to an end. So we ask the age-old question, was this movie any good? Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Of course, when you're considering all the garbage adaptations of video games that came before, this movie looks like the goddamn Mona Lisa compared to them. Personally, me, I've never been big into Pokemon, but I wanted to revisit it since I just thought it was a really good movie that could just stand on its own. However, I feel like this movie does suffer from that, oh, you gotta know information from the game in order to understand the lore of the world kind of thing, kind of like in the more recent Mario Brothers movie. Hell, I even have some of my friends here to tell you all about the movie and their experience with it too.
What's up, Nick? So, yeah, I'm kind of the Pokemon guy. I probably should know more about Detective Pikachu, but I don't remember crap that goes on in that movie, to be honest. Well, you got Mint Mobile guy as Pikachu. That was pretty fun. Big Torterra guy. That was a really cool part, I guess. The Fight Club scene was cool. That they made Gengar look ugly as shit. They made Charizard really scaly. They made Aipom look like a demon. What else we got? The fight scene, like the Mewtwo stuff, that was cool. Big fan of that, I guess. Yeah, that's about all I got. And overall, I get this movie 5 big booms. All right, thanks, pal.
What's up? It's me, the laziest person in the world, BajaRadio. I'm here to talk about funny electric rat movie. I remember going to see it with my friend from elementary/middle school, and we had a good time. We had the whole little cool aspect of, oh my gosh, it's Pokemon in real life. That's so freaking awesome. The only issue is that I think Detective Pikachu is just kind of forgettable in terms of its story. The only real thing I remember from it was Mewtwo and the whole aspect of Deadpool voicing Electric Rat, and that's pretty much it. Like the first Sonic movie, I could tell you that Sonic's mother dies, so he goes to Earth to team up with Cyclops to defeat the Mask. Or the Mario movie where Chris Pratt gets sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom, so he has to team up with Magic and Seth Rogen to defeat Jackington Blackington. I think one of the main reasons why it's mostly forgotten is because it's based off a game no one bought. Also partially because Pokemon is more of a multimedia franchise than it really is like an actual pure video game franchise. You know what I mean? You got the anime, you got the toys, you got the cards, you got all this stuff here laying down. Like, Pokemon is more than just a video game franchise. Well, wouldn't that help the brand since they're branching out into movies now? They already had Pokemon movies before then. I think the only reason why it did the numbers in the first place was because of the Pokemon Go craze, and that was it. At the time, you could not, go anywhere without seeing Pokemon. It was everywhere at the time. I think due to the whole human subplot being quite forgettable and the whole cliche ending of, my father was the friend I made along the way. Ooh, look, Ryan Reynolds is my daddy now. I think it kind of just hinders the movie in terms of memorability for me. It's serviceable. I'd give my personal ranking probably like a 6 out of 10. Also, Julian was right. Fucking monkeys look scary as shit.
I don't like the way you are looking at me.
Okay, there's one day, I hope it doesn't happen, but there's a penis picture of mine floating around somewhere.
Well, guess what? Yeah. We found it.
How you doing? It's Finnapoo. I really like Detective Pikachu. Pikachu, Goofy Goober. Snorlax, Chunky Goober. Fight Club, cool. Awesome. Gengar, ugly. Torterra, big boy. Yeah. Pokemon look real. That's cool. Mewtwo, terrifying. Apom, why does he have the same teeth as me?
Wow, he's British!
Yeah. I like Pokemon. Good movie. Fun experience. Okay, bye.
Now with that out of the way, I briefly want to go over a plot hole that I kind of noticed throughout the runtime of this movie. So the detective's soul gets trapped inside a Pikachu, kind of like a FNAF thing, and Mewtwo was the cause of that, right? So why later on in the movie, when the gas hits the people on the street, how come they needed that gas in the first place in order for Mewtwo to put the souls of the people inside of the Pokemon? That doesn't make much sense to me. It's very confusing to me, and I'll probably bring it up later, but for now, I want to go over the marketing for this movie and what it had going for it. First off, I want to go over the promotional videos that Detective Pikachu had going for it before the film's release. First off, we have Ryan Reynolds' mockumentary format, basically having him wanting to become a Pokemon. This is actually kind of funny, not gonna lie. It's like me wanting to become a 3-foot tall blue speedy hedgehog for my entire life. The second piece of video media was pretty much just Detective Pikachu, but the movie leaked online, I guess. But apparently this was an official thing with just Pikachu dancing for an hour and 42 minutes. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Then the other stuff is just what you imagine, TV spots, interviews, VFX breakdowns, stuff like that. It also says that there was a Detective Pikachu website for the film's release, which I was trying to find it. I really was, you guys, but I just couldn't find it anywhere, and honestly, I did not feel like it, so I just kind of dropped the search. I even used the Wayback Machine in order to search this up, and it didn't even work, so I don't know, man. I'm tired. And of course, you had your toys with your regular standard kids' toys, your plushies, and a Detective Pikachu plush, which was a hot seller, with its iconic catchphrase, "Let's go, kid." This is what EDP said to a minor. And of course, since this is a Pokemon-related thing, of course, there was a Pokemon card involved with it. Actually, multiple. There was multiple Pokemon cards. Hell, even my friend BajaRadio states that he has a Detective Pikachu card. I'll put it here if he ever finds it, but I don't know, man. And just like it was stated back in the previous segment, Pokemon Go was a very hot thing at the time, and you could not go 5 minutes without seeing it plastered on every building imaginable. So of course, when it came time for Detective Pikachu to come out, there was a special event in-game that happened. The movie had a budget of $150 and got a box office record of $450 million worldwide, so generally with the marketing and all that, it was around 280 something million, like, internally. So honestly, it got double its paying, so it generally was a hit. And of course, when you consider Pokemon Go being released at the time, this movie did do financially well. Now overall, my general opinion stands that the movie was good, but it was also kind of forgettable as well. A lot of the characters get very underused or just not used at all. Like, for example, Tim's grandmother, you know, like, what's her deal? Maybe she could have called Tim and checked in on him, see how he was doing, but, you know, instead she just got underused. Same with Tim's friend, which don't even get me started on that one. It's like they're not really relevant to the plot. They're just kind of there to make it go, and once their purpose is served, their purpose is served. Hell, we even know that his mom is just dead, and we don't really get that much leverage about it. We're just like, oh, his mom's dead. That's sad, I guess. Compare this to something like the Sonic movies. We get introduced to Tom, Maddie, their dog, and we get introduced to the rest of the human characters. And they're not just used for like 5 minutes or even less of screen time. They're literally just, you know, there, just vibing. We get a good sense of their characters, what they're about, and we grow emotionally attached to them. So it hits even harder when we see Shadow pretty much putting Tom into the ICU. Like, I feel like there are things that are necessary for these characters to just be fleshed out, but honestly, I don't know. Within like the 1 hour and 42 minute like time range, I don't know, man. It's like, it confuses me on many levels. I feel like it's one of those movies where, like, I don't know, my nephews and nieces wanted to watch it, and they were going through a Pokemon craze, and I put it on and let them watch it. This is baby's first detective movie. They gotta watch this in order to watch the Batman. Yeah, but overall, that's about it. Oh, my back. But overall, I'm assuming if you did your homework, you understand the routine by now. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, or else I will cut off your nutsack and nail it to my door like one of those fancy doorknobs that those rich folk got. And see you when I make a video talking about Detective Pikachu to the movie. The funny thing is, it's never gonna happen. See you guys later, and bazinga as always.
I could have my Gucci on. I could wear my Louis Vuitton.
Get your spectral sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.